To be useful, a program usually needs to communicate with the outside world by obtaining input data from the user and displaying the result data back to the user. This lecture will introduce you Python input and output. Python provides numerous built-in functions that are readily available to us at the Python prompt. Some of the functions like input and print are widely used for standard input and output operations respectively. Let us see the output section first. Python output using print functions. So let's explain using Jupyter Notebook. We are going to write the hello world program. Hello world. We can see here the string is described within the double quotes. Of course, we can deal the strings in later section. Now we are going to deal with input and output only. So after this one, so we can see the result as print hello world. The hello world is already printed. We use the print function to output data to the standard output device or screen like this, and we can also use output data to a file, but this will be discussed later. Let's see the another example. I'm going to as a variable. Of course, we can deal the variable in the later section. A is equal to 5. Then I'm going to print the value of A is like what we is of C, and definitely we can got the result is what the value of A is 5. In the second print statement, we can notice that the space was added between the string and the value of a variable A, that this is a default one, but we can change it. So actual syntax of a print function is like this. Print, you can see as objects and then a separator and ending it with a new line. You can see a file system of standard output and the flush is equal to false. Here object is the value or values to be printed. The sep or is called as a separator is used to between the values. It defaults into the space character. After these values are printed, end is printed. And it defaults into a new line, and the file is the object where the values are printed, and the default value is sys.system standard output or the screen. And here is the example to illustrate. Sometimes we need to use this from future import, or maybe it's needed for the case of print function along with the version 2 as 3. So I'm going to print 1 2 3 4. Definitely we got the answer as 1 2 3 4, and it is separated with a space by default. And if I want to separate this 1 2 3 4 with a separated symbol called star, then it will be printed like this. We can give the separator as an optional one like this. And if I want to print 1 2 3 4 and separate it with a hash and ending with an ampersand, definitely we can print the statement like this. And also let's see another example. I'm going to print MSc. It's an instance, and for students, definitely it will be printed as AMRC for students. You can see the default one is space. And if I want to, that means you can see here I'm using an integer value, but it takes as a string itself. You can see here, and it's separated with a slash. Then see the AMSRE slash for slash students. Come to the point of output formatting. Sometimes we would like to format our output to make it look attractive. This can be done by using str.format method. This method is visible to any string objects. We will discuss about the variables, expressions and strings etc. in detail in the following lectures. Let's take an example. So I'm going to assign x as 5, then y is equal to 10. Definitely I know what this icon over here instead. Okay, so I'm going to print the value. The value of x is like that with the formatting statement. You can see the value of x is 5 and y is 10. You can use this. Here the curly braces. Here the curly braces are used to place holders. We can specify the order in which they are printed by using the numbers or the tuple index. We can see later what is the, because it's a both x and y value is assigned as a tuple over here. We will discuss what is tuple in the later section. Let's see one more example. Here I'm going to use the string print I love 0, and the formatting is like this. I'm going to print I love bread and butter, and with these statements here again we are using the tuple. You can see the print statement like this: I love bread and butter. And let's see what will happen. I love once. If you are going to change the statements like this, do the same. I love butter and bread. You can change the string according to that index or already mentioned in this statement. We can even use the keyboard arguments to format the. Let's see an example. Going to give the print hello name and giving a greeting with a format. Greeting is equal to good morning and name is equal to John. So the answer is hello John. I'm giving a greeting like this with a good morning. We can also format the strings like an old sprintf style used in C programming language. We use the percentage operator to accomplish this. So let's see the example. I'm going to assign x equal to 12 point some value. So now I'm going to print using a percentage as an operator with respect as similar to the sprintf in the case of C language. You can see the value of x is 12.35 because I'm mentioned over here it is with a 2 decimal series with a floating point. Let's see one more example. So print the value of x. I am going to change the 3.2 to 3.4. We can see what the more precisions can be over here. Also, we can use the modulo operator for formatting the strings. Let's get started with an example. Here is a print statement that displays a formatted string using the string modulo operator. So I'm going to the print percentage D and percentage S, cos. This dollar symbol is mainly used for represent or the output the value in dollar with the point 2f, where 2 is the decimal number representations. So let's see the result. This percentage D correspond for to 6 and this S corresponding for these strings, and this point 2f, definitely we get the two decimal representation with respect to dollar size.